you're a projector, watch this. I'm going to totally redefine what waiting for an invitation looks like for you. Now, a lot of projectors, a lot of people in general, just think that waiting for an invitation is a passive thing. And the reality is, you could not be more wrong about that. The journey of a projector is really mostly about learning your value. The reality is that you grew up in a world where a lot of people are telling you, oh, you gotta go get it. You gotta make stuff happen. You can't just wait around. And for some people, that's true. For you, it's not. And here's why. Your aura is penetrating. You get right up in the situation like, oh, what's going on in here? What's the real deep root cause of this? Not a lot of people want their shit called out. They don't really want you to get up in their face to go super deep with them. So the whole waiting for an invitation thing is really to protect you both from what feels like rape, unsolicited advice, deep conversations that some people, again, most people really just don't want to have. There is no opening that's being made for you. There is no space that is being created for you unless there is an invitation present. Now, deconditioning yourself from a lot of this societal bullshit puts you through a lot of realizations and hard truths that you either can come to accept or default back to the way that you were doing things. Peeling back those layers of conditioning is going to force you to be alone, because the matter of the fact is, you probably have a lot of people in your life that have no idea or no concept of the value that you could bring into their lives. Now, here's the way to go about waiting for an invitation. Step number 1 is getting okay with being alone. You have the opportunity here to learn what it feels like to love doing the thing that you love doing for the sake that you love doing it. Not because it provides value for other people or the world or any of that. Because you find value in doing it, that is what success could mean to you. Again, it could mean all that other stuff, but then that means that you got to jump through a bunch of hoops and act like you're not self, act like other people in order to make yourself happy, which we all know just fucking does not work. Step number 2, engage yourself in your own life. Although your aura is penetrating and you're very much so about the other person, what you really got to understand is that without your own love for yourself, other people are not going to value, see, respect, or even want your energy around them. Simply put, you will be wanting to fix other people rather than looking at yourself and offering your own healing and your own advice and your own medicine to yourself. Step number 3, learn how to invite yourself to do stuff with yourself. Invitations are all about creating a proper space. So if art is something that you love, what you need in your life is an inviting space to do art. If a space is inspiring, it's going to invite you into it. If it's cluttered and messy and there's other people in the space and there's a lot of distractions going on, it's not very inviting. Now, this applies to when other people invite you to things as well. What happens a lot of the times is the projector is so eager to be invited that any invitation that comes their way, they accept without even thinking, is this invitation really in alignment with me? Learn to say no. Please learn to say no. Not every invitation is going to be for you. There are levels to invitations. There's the simple one. Hey, you're invited to a party. Cool, thanks. And then there are those invitations that really make you feel good about yourself. Hey, I'm having a party. That band that we saw when we were in high school together is showing up. Oh, and also so-and-so, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah are coming in from out of town. I would love for you to see them. Can you make it? That's just like candy for a projector, because it means that the other person is also thinking about you. Now, when it comes to making stuff happen, this is going to be step 4, I think. Step 4 is working on not needing anything from people. Ultimately, as a projector, like I said with step 1, 2, or 3, you got to get really okay with being alone. This creates a sensation that when other people are around you, they don't feel like you need anything from them. When your invitations are void of needing something from somebody, needing validation, needing to be seen, all this stuff, you actually can be the one to open up conversations and spaces for yourself. And this is how it looks. Hey, Jacqueline, I really love watching you. You're really fun to observe. And I want you to know I got some things that I'd really love to drop in with you about. You let me know, you invite me, you let me know when you have some space to drop in about it, and I'd be super happy to share with you. Now, this is not initiating. Why is it not initiating? Well, because you're not initiating. What you're saying is, I got something, and ultimately, I'm not giving it to you until you invite me to, and until you give me a space. Now, this is very important, and again, you have to not need anything from this person. A lot of projectors, again, growing up in a very manifestor generator type of world, have this conditioning where they think that their value comes from helping other people or giving other people advice. And so they attempt to do that. They want to give people advice. They want to feel valuable. And guess what happens? Because they weren't invited, because the other person hasn't made a space for them in their brain, in their heart, etc., they end up feeling bitter. Because a lot of the times the people do not follow their advice. So much of being a projector is really about knowing and understanding your value. And these conversations, those kinds of self-invitations, are really a lot better when you go through a year or 2 or 3 of deconditioning to really learn your value and also free up your social network from people who really just don't see your value. You attract people on the level that you are at. So if you are at a level where you truly love, respect, and embrace yourself, other people will see that, feel that, and they will invite you to stuff. When it comes to looking for a job, same stuff applies. What are your values? What are your strengths? What are the things that make you valuable to a company? You have to understand exactly what those things are and exactly how they would fit into a company, product, service that you want to be employed by. We live in the 21st century. There are so many tools in terms of lead generation, sales, website, that you don't have to do a lot of initiating, but you gotta know what it is that you're good at. I said it before and I'll say it again in this video. Projectors, you are incredibly valuable, but if you surround yourself with people that do not see your value, you will never be invited to anything. So do yourself a favor. Commit to a year or 2 or 3 of detoxing, shedding the social conditioning that you've picked up in the years of life that you've had. Commit a year, minimum, a year, to just being alone, practicing, doing, refining the thing that you love. And by the end of that year, you will come out a completely different person.